Is Matt's KOTE game. I lost with Sasha, bit of a setback, never mind. But George really did a good blinder, pulled it back from opponent on third key check with him only just on his first, pulled it back to win with Hyperburg. So yeah, this is Matt versus chevalirorazure from the Seeker Noodles from France, who led with a Imp Spectre. Matt is then playing Tenebris, effectively killed the Entropic Swirl, Wild Wormhole, E-Died, Purged, Snaglet, which is good. I'm going to talk about Tenebris in a moment. Chevalier came back with the Logos board, you can just see there. Huge Logos board. Right, so Matt, red alerts, does some stuff. Right, I'm going to very quickly talk about the two decks. So yeah, Matt is playing Tenebris of Loberon Prison. If you can look at this, it's got a really good Logos lineup. 3 E-Dies, 2 Tau Taus, 2 Entropic Swirls, Hologramophone to protect, and Daughter Spectre cards. Really good Logos. You've also in the Star Alliance, you've got the grey. So the strategy for this deck is you basically archive the disc. Just put all that disc into your archive, and you can basically get to a point where you're just cycling through the Logos every single turn, and then you start to archive the Star Alliance. Really good deck on that front. Just looking at what did Matt do. So Matt red alerted, and then zapped, and then basically killed off the Hapsis. Made his E-Die a little bit more protect, stronger, a bit more protection. Harbinger and Infernus coming out. Let's look at Chevaliers. A similar but not quite so good Logos. It's filled up with things like Quantum Finger Traps and Bibliophiles, which aren't as good as Matt's sort of double Tau Tau, triple E-Die, but has the Candle unit in Logos rather than Matt's, which is Maverick Dis. Better Dis, 2 Inspectors and an Infernus, which can backfire a bit. If you're purging Tenebris' cards, you're actually making its ability to cycle Logos better. And Saurian, it's got 6 Emperor Tribute, so there's some big amber swing there potentially. So yeah, finished off a turn. What was the turn? Infernus played Boardnit, played Spider. Matt Tau Taus for 2 cards, starts filling up even more into his archive. Just looking what was purged, not Logos. So yeah, Matt's got to be quite happy with that. It's got 2 red alerts, so losing 1's not the end of the world. And then we go, board cleared off of Chevalier's own Harbinger. Group Think Tank, Eddie number 2. I think Matt's perhaps, there's one Infernus gone, the other Infernus coming down and taking out the E-Dies. That is going to be an issue, so maybe we need to be a little bit careful until we know where both the dis is. Sick Wormhole. That's good. That's good. So obviously, I mean, Chevalier now can't use the tribute with it. I think that's probably disappointing from Chevalier. I don't think he would be looking for that off the top of his deck at that point. Matt's gone dis. It's not. I say not often you actually want to do that, but might have a handful of dis. He just needs to get out. Or indeed in this case, protect the E-Die, get it out of the discard pile, put it on the table where it's probably safer from that Infernus. Also go to check. So yeah, good dis turn. Chevalier takes their archives. Exhume, E-Die, or Infernus? Infernus. Okay. I'd say the Exhume. Yeah, the Exhume and the Evil Eye. He's purging. Unfortunately, he's purging the disc creatures, which is discards, which is just actually playing to Matt. I think Matt is quite happy to take that 2 Amber Pip hit right now, if it means that's less discards for him to have to try and actively archive. Another Tau Tau. I think one of the things it would be nice to have in Tenebris that it doesn't have is its own Infernus or its own Inspector. because you'd want to get rid of the opposing Infernuses. Oh, there's just no way to do it. He's played out the third E-die. I think that's obviously because he's going to try and kill that Inspector now. And he wants to keep his E-dies safe from being purged from hand. Oh, he's just reaping, so he hasn't. So he didn't kill the Inspector. He just let it live. On the city-state, yeah. Well, that's every single E-die in discard, so Matt's now going to have to play at least 3. So yeah, 3 cards? 4 cards. He needs to play 4 cards out of his hand so he can flip that discard to avoid Infernus. Taking off his cards. 1, 2, 3. Have we got a 4th to come out? 4. There you go, Matt's done it. So he's avoided the possibility of an Infernus taking his E-dies away, and he's actually also managed to get out a Candle Unit, which is a nice passive creature to have from the disc side. So Chevalier is building up to their first key. It's very much been a game of board presence and board control. Very little's actually stayed on the table long enough to generate any amber. I'm just looking, is there any way of... Yeah, there's no Ludo, there's no... there's no... the shield. Scoot 'em. So, other than the 6 Semper, I'm not seeing any way to get the amber that he's captured off the table. So I think Matt's going to get that back eventually. There's going to be a board clear, a Harbinger from either side at some point. Maybe that next red alert. So yeah, Logos turn didn't do that much from Chevalier. Just put out the Babbling Bibliophile and the Quantum Finger Trap. Oh, here we go, Twin Bolt. I mean, Bibliophile and take the ward off the Brutodon, maybe? No, putting another one on Malice on. Okay. Matt's back on check. Gargantuan, not that much for it. I don't think there's no steal. So Pompous has come down, which is going to make all those things with captures on really big. So that Gargantuan there just stole most of Matt's amber. Obviously we don't know what's in Matt's archive. He does have his own Harbinger, it's not in the Purged. But I'd say with 6 cards in his archive, it's quite possible his own Harbinger is in there. So, getting rid of Pompitus is probably an idea if you can. Not seeing any particularly easy ways to do it. Yeah, Malison will take the ward off. Provided because Chevalier is about to flip his deck now, but so the Imperium and the Axiom could come round. Gargantuan moved away from the protection, but unfortunately that puts Pompitus under protection with the taunt. Don't know if I would have done that. I guess Matt's hoping to have a Harbinger or a couple of entropic swirls, something like that. But yeah, Chevalier got his key. So they all reap and get stunned because of the Orb of Invidious. Killed the Bloodshard Imp first so they don't die, and also the Candle unit so Matt didn't get a load of cards. And the group think tank got purged. I mean, so far Chevalier has kind of played around that, so it wouldn't have been. So it's not a significant loss. He dies a bit late, sadly. Wow, he dies 2 archives. As you can see, Matt's deck is now really thin. There's like 16 cards going through, plus another 2 he dies on the table. And this is kind of what Tenebris does. It really slows your opponent's game down. Now, if Chevalier can't find a way to purge those E-dies, what's going to happen is he's just going to see them repeatedly, again and again and again, every single turn. What's Matt got? Tau Vapors. Is he going to be able to flip the deck? Only needs to play out 4. He's probably got a load of Logos, so swirls and 2 swirls and a twin bolt emission is enough to kill Pompetus. And then you start plinking away at everything. So yeah, see, that's also 2 amber each time he swirls, so he's gone up to 7. Where did he? Oh, he wormholed into an E-die. So now he flips the deck. Nothing in the discard. E-dies are gone, safe from the Infernus. Yeah, I don't know if Chevalier's realised what's going to happen now, but Matt is just going to now endlessly loop the Logos with the Tau Vapors, the E-dies, and just start obliterating this board with the. Meanwhile, his own key cost is going to go through the roof. So Matt gets his first key, says Logos, see an E-die, or probably Tau first if he's got it. Yeah, so Matt's now, archiving all those Star Alliance. He's not going to draw enough to flip. Does it matter? Probably not. Twin Bolt kills the Malison, gives him enough to go to 6. Kill the daughter. Oh no, kill the Bibliophile and the daughter. Okay. Plays Entropic Swirl. Flips the deck. Flips the deck. He's got enough to flip the deck again. So I think now it's going to be very hard. It has to be a disc turn where you kill the E-die and then Infernus in order to get the E-die off the table. Remove all their stuns. So Chevalier exhuming over the daughter. Okay. I mean, I say destroying the Live of the Damned helps Matt because it's now an extra thing for him to Telltale that, to Edie and archive that isn't the Logos that he's endlessly repeating. Chevalier, I'd have chosen the hologramophone, or possibly the Orb of Invidious before I reap. Yeah. We're just going to go, say, got to kind of feel a bit for Chevalier because it seems to be going his way with this huge board, but all that's happening now is Matt's just going to keep playing Edis, circling them round and preventing the Infernus from doing anything about them unless it's in hand with an attack. The fact that Matt has got 2 out may be problematic if Chevalier has drawn his Infernus. It doesn't look like he has. So it's whether Matt can hold off long enough, keep this chain going before the Chevalier basically wins. Edie is going to stop Matt forging this turn, but that Edie is going to explode from a swirl. Yeah, see the Harbinger I'm not sure is a good play because the Harbinger now Matt is going to kill. He's going to double swirl and twin bolt it, and it is going to completely obliterate Chevalier's board, which he needs for his city state. Even though he's protected it behind the Legionary, yeah. So Matt protects his Edis, reaps, and then blows up the Harbinger. I suppose it does put the Infernus into the discard with a deck flip. Oh, Matt's gone for the candle unit. I was going to say, if you're going to go for the candle unit, okay. I'm surprised Matt went for the candle unit there rather than just destroying the board. Because I think there's a very real risk now that Chevalier, if he gets his dis turn, I mean, let's just check. Is Matt playing this right? Is the Infernus? No, the Infernus isn't in there, so Chevalier is going to have an Infernus soon. And there's a sick tribute. So there's a lot of amber over there for Chevalier. Unfortunately, his key cost is 57. Board gone. But yeah, Matt won anyway because he had enough amber. Yeah, Chevalier needed to take off the Edis and purge them earlier with the Infernuses. But yeah, that's how games with Tenebris go. Often the opponent will get like no keys or maybe one or even 2 keys until they get eventually locked into this situation where the Tenebris deck is just going through Logos turn and turn and turn and turn and turn again, churning out the amber, slightly blowing your board up with these swirls, but just untouchable amber goals with the Edis. Anyway, you'll probably see Tenebris a bit because it's actually my second. It's my second deck, so it's what I'll now be playing now that I lost with Sasha. But yeah, so George and Matt won, I lost. That's what you get for being only the third best player in Manchester. Those two have carried me through once again this round. So yeah, see you next round.